Hey guys, welcome to another video on Predator Warbots. So this video is going to be talking about the SHOCKTRAIN briefly, as well as just some general things that I find are problematic with the state of the game. So as you'll see throughout this gameplay footage, it's between Clan Vox and Clan Heat, and you will really not see any other robots other than Dash, which is pretty typical in Champion League, especially with higher level clans. I think the only player who isn't running Dash or Inquisitor is one other player on our team who just doesn't have them, and that's obviously a huge problem with other players who haven't been playing as long and don't have the resources to get all the DASHBOTS. And that goes on, and I just generally don't like this gameplay at all. And I know it's kind of like looking at it from another person. Let's say, how could you be complaining? You have all the robots, and it's just generally not fun to play with. It gets really repetitive, and you're fighting Dash, you're fighting with Dash, and I'm really just playing these games for clan activity and to play with my clan. And that's the main reason why I opened up the lower level account on my YouTube channel, is to get that old school feeling with robots, using Griffins and Boas and Carnages, and just really anything other than DASHBOTS and Inquisitors. And that also brings me to my next part, which is about SHOCKTRAIN. So as many of you may know, or maybe not know because you're not in a high enough tier yet, the SHOCKTRAIN is probably one of the biggest issues with the game right now, and it's pretty fixable too, unlike DASHBOTS, because there's 3 DASHBOTS plus the Inquisitor, and then there's really just the rest of the robots. It's that far separated. And SHOCKTRAIN, they're really overpowered in the game, and just to give you some specs of the weapon, it's a medium weapon, 3-second reload time, except then it energizes further, and the medium range is up to 500 meters, and it fits perfectly on the 3 DASHBOTS, which is another problematic part of it. And these weapons are really just throughout the game, especially in high level play. You'll see multiple players run it, and I've actually refused to run it. I know I used all the DASHBOTS and the Inquisitor against clans, but I don't even really play that much solo anymore, just because it doesn't appeal to me. And one of the other huge problems with the SHOCKTRAIN is that it's a lock-on weapon. So in the past we've had lock-on weapons of being Aphids, Hydras, Spirals, and the Zeus, but these weapons were never really overpowered in the sense that you couldn't sit back and just annihilate a whole team. I know players who have had one game with a Haichi with SHOCKTRAIN and they've scored 1.9 million damage, and the game's just never been like that. And now with the SHOCKTRAIN, you can literally sit back 500 meters in a Bulgasari or a Haichi and be firing SHOCKTRAINs, and nobody can even get close to you. And then you don't even have to aim. So it's basically, if you're in the open, it's a hit every time. And these things do a ridiculous amount of damage. I know it varies a lot because there's obviously Mark IIs now, and it charges up further than after the initial 3 seconds. And I just remember being at 180,000 health with an Inquisitor, and you get hit and drop down to 90,000 health. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's the maximum that it can do, which is obviously ridiculous for 3 of them. And the other part is the Mark II part of the game. When that came in, I realized that I definitely would not be able to keep up. I play the game a fair amount, and I simply cannot make enough silver to re-upgrade every single weapon and robot to max level. I know it took me a long time, and I just won't be able to upgrade all my stuff. And that's basically how the game's at, and you just saw one or two players who have robots other than Dash, but it's very few with top clans. And with the Mark II, it's really completely uneven, because I don't have Mark II weapons for the most. I only have one or two maybe, and I'll be going up like a Mark II High Chi against my level 12 High Chi, and it's like the other player will win no matter what, just because it has more health and stronger weapons. And if it was up to me, I would completely try to reverse the game. I thought it was perfect right after a couple updates ago when Beacon Rush came out, and they had some buffs with the Fujin and Rhino, and that was before the DASHBOTS, and I thought that was literally the perfect way for the game to be set up. Everything was even, and nothing was overpowered, and unfortunately these DASHBOTS did make the game unbalanced. And I hope they can change things in the future. And until then, I'll see you guys later. Thanks.